If you did not learn anything at all from our time together all this month, except that anger is a secondary emotion, I'll tell you, it's worth the time. You see, anger is the tip of the iceberg. It's not the real problem. Anger lets you know there's something going on underneath the hood of your soul, if you will. And we learned last time it can be hurt, which we addressed, frustration, or insecurity. Now, what I want to talk about is that second time. Sometimes you're angry. And by the way, if you don't know why you're angry, join the NFL. We'd say that in America. I guess it'd be the CFL here. But what I want you to know is that you're normal. A lot of us, we get angry and we don't know why. The second reason is frustration or unmet expectations. If you expect this is going to happen and this happens, the distance between those is frustration, or the more it is, it's real anger. And this happens to all of us. Let me read a passage from you, because this is right out of the Bible. There was a king, a foreign king, and he had leprosy and he wanted to be healed. And so, he did a little research and he found out that there was this amazing prophet in Israel that had a supernatural power that God was giving him to authenticate his word, and his name was Elijah. And so we pick up the story in 2 Kings chapter 5, verses 11 and 12, and the man's name is Naaman. And Naaman became furious, and he went away and said, "Indeed, I said to myself, he will surely come out to me and stand and call on the name of the Lord his God and wave his hand over the place and heal the leprosy." And then he names a couple of the rivers that are where he's from in Damascus. And he says, "Could I not wash in them and be clean?" So he turned away and went away in rage. Now listen to this. Here's this king, and he comes, and his expectations are, I'm going to go all the way to Israel, and I'm going to meet this prophet. And this prophet expectations, he's going to say some words and call on the name of his God, and instantly I'm going to be healed. Those are his expectations. But Elijah says, here's what I want you to do. He comes out, very calm, basically says, go wash 7 times in the Jordan. And the guy's irate. I mean, he just goes ballistic. He goes, you got to be kidding me. Why? His expectations of how things would happen were here, and this is what he was told. Now, fortunately for him, he had a servant who said, now I'm reading into the text here a little bit, hey boss, if he would have told you to do something hard, you would have done it, right? Well, yeah. Well, why don't we just go ahead and do what he says and see how it goes? And of course, many of you know the story. He goes to the Jordan, he dips 7 times, he's completely healed. Here's my question for you. How often when you get angry is it linked to your expectations? You expect everything's going to be perfect. You expect everyone to show up on time. You expect this is going to happen or that's going to happen. You expect when you made the investment, the stock market's going to do this. You expect that, when you took this step in ministry and you say, oh God, I really want to serve you, that everything's going to go great. When in fact, all throughout Scripture, when people take steps of faith, usually it gets worse before it gets better. In fact, one of the things it amazes me, and I think we're probably most guilty of it in the United States, is that we've kind of subtly told people that if you really love God and you're really committed and you learn to pray and read the Bible and take steps of faith and be generous with your time and your talent and your treasure, you're going to enjoy God's blessing. Well, the fact of the matter is you'll experience His hand of blessing. But my experience is, and Scripture is when people get really serious and surrender in their relationship with God, often it gets more difficult early on because you get tested and opposition comes at you. In fact, Peter would say to his group of people, he says, do not be surprised at the fiery ordeal among you as though something strange were happening. And so what I want you to know, and we have a real specific series of things in the book to help you deal with your expectations, but what I want you to know when you're angry, first ask why. Is it hurt, unmet need, or could it be my expectations, frustration? Are they realistic expectations? Are they biblical expectations? Or has someone just not come through and now you can deal with the real issue?